Welcome to the Future of Eye Care. For our second season, I had the pleasure to sit down with Rob Varady, the COO of Topology. So thanks for joining, Rob.
Hey, how's it going, Bob?
Doing well. So, super excited to chat with you about this today. I was taking a look at your background and your education, and I saw that, you really set the bar low by starting out in applied mathematics at Harvard. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah. So I was thinking the first thing that came to mind was you're pretty much like Good Will Hunting, Matt Damon.
Those are the guys in the theoretical math department. We engineers and economists merely tried to keep up.
It's obviously a unique educational experience. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about it? I think it sounds pretty fun.
Sure. So in college, I studied applied math because I just thought it was a more interesting way to study economics. That was really my main interest. And I could do so with like a smattering of economic history classes and sort of survey classes about different areas of business. Or I could do so that was really like getting our hands deep in the guts of, what makes economic models work, what makes the sort of macroeconomy and the world economy work. And how do you measure things and run experiments? And what are the empirical tools economists use to say, what are the impacts of this policy or of, this kind of background or you name it on an economic outcome.
Gotcha. So I saw that you decided to take it easy your first job out of school. And just decided to do some quant at Goldman Sachs.
Yeah,
so that must have been a pretty unique experience as well.
Man, the heady days of the mid-aughts. I went to go work for a hedge fund at Goldman out of college. It seemed like half of my graduating class was going to Wall Street at the time, so it wasn't particularly inventive. It was really neat because it was like solving a crossword puzzle every day. It was like you're racing against some of the smartest minds out there to try to do the hardest thing you can think to do, which is predict where stock prices were going. It was a cool place to cut your teeth for a couple of years, but after a couple of years, you realize maybe I don't want to make a career of just solving crossword puzzles every day. So at some point I decided, the finance starting point was a really fun place to learn business initially, but ultimately I wanted to move on.
I'm sure it was a world-class education, no doubt. So let's kind of talk about eye care. Obviously, it's what we're here for. And so at some point, you were compelled to jump into the eye care sector. Care to explain how you got started?
Sure. So after business school, I really focused a lot on healthcare. I was initially working on, what are the types of, what is the consumerization that's happening in healthcare? What are the types of, say, new apps that health plans were releasing to their customers to help change the way they would receive care and think about it? And at the same time, my brother started this idea of custom eyeglasses. He had been shopping for eyeglasses with his wife, and his ears are set a little bit further back on his head. Not that he knew this at the time, but it seemed that 90% of the glasses he tried on just couldn't fit him. And he got really annoyed, sort of going to store after store after store to try to find exactly the look that he wanted because he knew what he wanted, and he couldn't find one that was right for him. But being a mechanical engineer, he realized, I have a way, I can guess how these things are manufactured, and it wouldn't be that hard to manufacture them, made to measure, rather than manufacturing them, in bulk and then hoping that someone finds them in the store. And so he went from that sort of idea in his mind to maybe this would be a fun project on the side to ultimately quitting his job and investing 2 years and just figuring out, could he technologically do that? Could he come up with a way to scan a person's face, design a unique pair of glasses for them, and then at a reasonable cost manufacture that pair of glasses such that it was the uniquely perfect fit for them in whatever look, style, material, color they wanted. So that was the original idea behind Topology, and that's he just built basically a prototype of that when I joined. So I moved out to California, decided to help him launch this business. And we were really proud of the glasses we were making. We were getting really great responses from customers. But ultimately, as we were working with some opticians and some retailers who were starting to roll this out in their stores, they said, ultimately a custom product is always a luxury product. That's, there's the 10% of customers who want that, but I really like this experience. What can you do for the other 90% of my customers? And so that's where we said, we can use the same technology that measures the face, that understands what it means for a pair of glasses to fit on the face, and apply that technology to more traditional stock eyewear. And so what Topology has done is we've come up with a way to scan a person's face, determine which glasses will fit them, preview those glasses on the customer's face in a highly photorealistic way, and actually measure exactly what adjustments need to be made for that frame to fit a customer, and what are the lens measurements before that customer's ever even tried that frame on.
Very cool. Do you care to share the video of the demo real quick, and I can edit that in for people who are viewing on YouTube, at least, not on the audio?
Absolutely. So the demo I'm sharing here is Natalie. She's an optician who works on our staff. The first thing that happens is we take a 3D scan of a customer's face. This is obviously not the image we show customers, but to give you a sense of what that 3D scan looks like, it's this highly, highly precise 3D scan of a person's face that's really sub-millimeter accurate. Based on that scan, we're actually able to compare the 3D shape of the glasses to the 3D shape of her face to be able to determine exactly which glasses in a collection would fit her. From there, she can then try on any number of different glasses, sizes, styles, brands, you name it. She can see them from any angle. We can even kind of zoom in and get some of the finer details of the brand marks, the logos, the construction, et cetera. Even see in, say, a more translucent acetate, what's going on inside, what does the hardware look like. And then once she decides exactly this is the frame, the style, whatever it is that she wants, we can also solve for what is that set of measurements she needs in order for us to order a lens, even the most advanced and challenging prescription, like a personalized progressive or a prism lens or a high myop. We've dispensed -19s or 5 base out prisms with a 275 ad. And because we have this precise set of measurements, we're able to actually dispense glasses that she's never physically tried on herself.
Very cool. Very slick presentation, I think. And the patients can see this, and they can shop at home at a doctor's practice. Like, they can, once they're scanned in, they can go in when they want to and try on all these different frames. Like on a Saturday night, they're sitting on the couch watching TV. They can be checking out their new frames on themselves. Is that correct?
That's certainly where we're going. So ultimately, we're going to help anybody from a local doctor's office to a regional or even national chain to take everything they do in store and offer it as well online. I think customers are still fundamentally going to come to the store. After all, they have to get a complete eye exam every now and then. But what I'm really excited about is that moment when they're getting their eyes examined is not necessarily the moment they want to shop for glasses. And it's certainly not the moment they want to shop for a second pair or a third pair. And people have multiple vision needs, right? They don't only need their primary pair of glasses. They may need prescription sunwear. They may need blue light glasses. They may need transitions. And so when we wardrobe every pair of frame, everything we own on our body, our glasses are really the only object that we have one of. We have multiple shoes, multiple jeans, multiple shirts. We should be having multiple glasses too. And the easier we can make it for people to buy that second, that third pair, the more of them we're going to see people transact on in the future.
So great technology. I definitely see a place where this is going to come into, private practice optical, larger regional optical, private practice optometry should definitely be doing this. I guess one of the main proposition statements also is inventory. I don't know if we talked about inventory control or.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, so can you share kind of what are some of the main reasons a doctor or an optical store owner would bring this into their practice? I'm thinking lifestyle for the optician. I'm thinking inventory control for the business owner. Can you share what some of your proposition statements are?
Sure. So the number one, heads and shoulders above everything else, is increasing top line sales. This is what any business owner is going to want to be able to do. And there's a couple of different reasons why that happens. Number one, we've actually shown with initial clients, we're able to increase the capture rate. There's two reasons why that happens. Number one, there's a more streamlined customer experience in the store. I mean, the optician can literally act as your personal shopper while you, the patient, are back in the exam lane with the doctor. So by the time you come out, the optician already has a few frames that they know look good on you and fit you before they even try them on you. So it's a much faster, easier experience for a customer. They buy more in store. And then for those who don't buy that moment in the store, they have the option to actually call up your optician and place an order without having to physically come back in. So if they wanted to buy from anywhere else, that would mean 2 trips to some new store. However, if you've captured their scan, you have all the measurements you'll ever need to sell them glasses that day, that week, 2 months later, whenever it is they do realize they're ready to shop. In addition to that, you're going to be able to increase multi-pairing, like we talked about. When it's more convenient to buy more pairs, people do buy more pairs, and we've seen this ourselves. And then finally, there's the ability to actually increase the average ticket price, because there's this kind of visual interface can not only help people understand which frames they want to buy, but also which lenses they want to buy. And we're working on features that are able to show, what's the thickness for your specific prescription in your specific frame of choice at a particular index of refraction. We can do this for refraction index, for coatings. We can do this for progressive designs, really help opticians demonstrate for the customer in a very personalized way what's the best product for them. So that our goal is to allow the opticians to really operate at the top of their craft, helping the customer make the best decisions for their vision, and allow a lot of the blocking and tackling of the job, helping them figure out what fits. That can be handled algorithmically, and that can be handled by the patient on their own time.
That's great. Really exciting stuff. I'm curious to get your take. I mean, you're obviously doing something that's really fresh and new in the eye care sector. I'm curious to get your take, just kind of in closing, I guess, on anything else you see, for the future of eye care. It doesn't have to be what you're doing or what I'm doing, but if there's anything else you've come across in your conversations that you see kind of out there in the industry, whether it's eye care, ophthalmology, optometry, or optical.
Yeah, I think a lot of the conversation right now is about e-commerce, and every general fights the last war, and people are thinking about, well, what if we go into another year of pandemic again? I don't think that's necessarily the thing that's going to happen to us most likely. So I don't think e-commerce is a solution unto itself. The really important thing to think about is who's going to offer the best experience going forward. And if you compare the experience of shopping for eyewear today to the experience of shopping for most other things a person shops for, it's just not as good an experience. So whether you're going to be focused on what you're doing in the 4 walls of your store, or whether you're focused on what you can do live and virtually with a patient, or whether you're focused on what you can offer on a website, ultimately the business owners that are going to win are going to be those who are really laser focused on what makes my patients happiest, what makes them shop the way they want to shop, the time they want to shop, the place they want to shop. If you're able to do that, if you're focused on what's making your patients most happy, you'll also have them be more loyal. You'll also have them buy more. And so it's not about one specific solution. It's about always chasing that problem of patient experience.
It's great insights, Rob. I certainly appreciate you taking the time to meet with me today and chat about this stuff. Wish you continued success on the journey that you guys are on. I think you're definitely on the right track. I think you're going to have a lot of success. So, appreciate your time, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Bob. Take care.